But this is how we expect success in India, and not just India, even an event which wants to promote failure, celebrate failure, sends me this dossier. When I was selected as a speaker. Tips to be successful at Fuckup Nights. So starting on this ironical note, I am Suyog Narvekar. I'll be talking about my academic failures with you all. So by raise of hands, tell me how many of you actually watched the Chandrayaan go live? Oh, that's quite a larger number, yeah? Good patriotic people over here. That's nice. So call me a sadist, call me an anti-national, whatever you want to call me. But I, in the hindsight, loved it that the Chandrayaan 2 failed. Oh, thank you. You know why? Because in our country, which is constantly in a rat race, this taught us to fail graciously and to accept failure. This was the same country which said, Chintu, 12वीं में सिर्फ 88% लाया तू, शर्मा जी के बेटे को देख यार. So I love Rohit Sharma, by the way. I love Rohit Sharma. He's my favorite batsman from the Indian team. But you know what happens when Rohit Sharma comes out to bat? Half our country is expecting him to fail. Sharma consistent नहीं है, Sharma नहीं बचा पाएगा. But as soon as Sharma crosses the mark of 50 or 60 runs, ये 200 मारेगा, is the first thing that comes to our mind. And that is what India expects from our people in terms of success. Either you expect them to fail or you expect them to 200 marega. In cricket there is this term where if you score 100, you are the hero, but if you get out on 99, people say, yaar aur ek run bana leta, अच्छा हो जाता, 100 बन जाते तेरे, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता टीम के स्कोर में अगर कोई 100 पे आउट हो जाए या कोई 99 पे आउट हो जाए. But this is how we expect success in India, and not just India, even an event which wants to promote failure, celebrate failure, sends me this dossier when I was selected as a speaker. Tips to be successful at Fuckup Nights. So starting on this ironical note, I am Suyog Narvekar. I'll be talking about my academic failures with you all. So thank you Akshit. Where is he? I think he's not here. Thank you Akshit for giving a wonderful introduction of me. CA है, lawyer है, blogger है, what all. But यार मैं तुम लोगों को बताना चाहता हूँ मेरी ज़िंदगी पूरी की पूरी failure हो चुकी है. So it all started when I was in 4th standard, and for the first time in my life I failed in Hindi. आज मैं बैठ के सोच रहा हूँ साला 4th standard के बच्चों को हिंदी में कौन फेल कर रहा है. But then was the time when I was failing in Hindi, and every semester, every year, every subject, there was this subject or the other when I was failing, and it just kept on continuing. But एक जिंदगी में मोड़ आता है ना, वैसे मेरे जिंदगी में मोड़ आया 8th standard में. There was an IQ test held in our school, and I scored 162. I'll give you some perspective of that 162. Can you see this gentleman, Bill Gates, his score was 158 when he took it. This guy, Albert Einstein, or maybe Isaac Newton, none of you watch the news it seems. Albert Einstein scored 160, and at 162, yours truly. So everyone in my school, including my teachers, were in awe and surprised that they asked me to retake the test because they thought I had cheated. That was the extent of that failure, and I retook the test and I scored 163. And all hell broke loose. My parents were summoned to the principal's office, and they were told, your son is intelligent. My parents were now surprised. They were like, first time we are called to the principal's office, and a nice thing we get to hear about my son. So, after this, the teachers advised my parents to send me to a psychologist. He is intelligent, but not scoring marks, they said. He might have learning disability. Because the education system was not a failure, the teachers did not fail, maybe I had a psychological issue. So I was sent to the shrink. The shrink gave me a very clean sheet of bill saying he has perfect mental health and there's no problem. And this is where the shrink failed. So I still have something called as an attention disorder. I can't really concentrate on one thing for too long. I used to study for CA final in my library, and there was this instant I remember. I'm reading company law, and it goes something like this. Section 138 is about... And suddenly, I see on the table there's an ant. Where did this ant come from? Where is it going? I try to draw circles around it to see if I can cross that circle. Then I start thinking, is this the only ant that is coming? Or is this just a scouting ant? There's a whole army to follow. Is it going to be like that movie 300? Oh, Lena Headey was really, really, really hot in that movie. And then my mind goes to shame, 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 and who can forget that scene of Lena Headey, right? So this is how I studied, and after a time, in all this circle, I never realized that I took 8 attempts to clear my CA inter exam and 6 attempts to clear my CA final. That is a sum total of 7 years giving one CA exam after the other. You know, my friends were becoming, in fact, her husband had become a chartered accountant when I was giving my CA inter exam. We started off together. We were in the same college, same batch. But he was giving, he had become a chartered accountant. I was giving CA inter, not even CA final, CA inter. So, you know, when all this was happening, this dialogue came into my mind, you know, कि दोस्त, किसी को याद है ये dialogue? कि अगर दोस्त fail होता है तो दुख होता है, but अगर दोस्त first आता है ना तो उससे भी बहुत ज़्यादा दुख होता है. So, it is fine, you know, facing failure as one person for me was fine. But the real problem started when families got involved. You know, my family was really supportive. Mom, dad were all good. But the real problem comes when it comes to extended family. Extended family is like pineapple on a pizza. No one really, there are very few people who like pineapple on a pizza. There are even fewer who accept it. And trust me, everyone knows that it's completely useless. For me, extended family came in roop of Kalpana auntie. Kalpana auntie used to come to my house and say, "माझा सनी मला नवीन Santro देतोय, तू तुझ्या आईला काय देतोस? My sonny is sending me to Singapore. Where are you sending your mother?" And my mother was really chill about all this. She used to like laugh it off, dismiss, but it used to hurt me over here. Not at the mic, at the heart below it. It used to hurt me over here. And you know, there are some pressures which others put on yourself, but there are some pressures which others put on you, but there are some pressures you put on yourself. While I was giving my CA final attempts, my father had retired from his long-lasting PSU bank service. So he had retired from his long-lasting PSU bank service, and there was, this pressure on me to earn some money, put some bread on the table. There's no one saying, maybe Kalpana auntie was saying it, but my parents, my sister was not telling me to quit CA and pursue a job to put money, put bread on the table. But it was the pressure which was inside me, which was trying to push me towards it. Then another mode came, and I became a chartered accountant. So this is not a happy ending Bollywood story. I consider this as one of my recent failures. I'll tell you why. I consider this as a recent failure. Because now I have become a chartered accountant. For 7 years of my life, those 7 years when I was giving one attempt after the other, the only aim was to become a chartered accountant. Once I became a chartered accountant, I was lost. Where to go now? What to do now? I have this big audit, law, tax background which I can use and earn money. But I don't want to because it's very boring. On the other hand, I have this really good oratory skill set which I want to utilize as a career option, but I don't know how to. I don't know what are the opportunities that lie in that field. I am standing over here right now as a failed person in spite of having all those degrees. But I have learned one thing from this, that failure is like a cricket pitch without any stumps behind you. And an opportunity comes like a ball. You have to take that stance and swing your bat as hard as possible. If you miss, it's okay because there are no stumps. There is no wicket to fall unless you decide to give up. You have to again take that stance and wait for the next delivery to come. And as soon as it comes, hit it as hard as possible. You have to hit only one delivery to be called a successful person, but you can miss as many as possible because there are no wickets to fall. And there is only one wicket to fall if you decide to give up. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That was my time at Fuckup Nights. I hope I was successful at Fuckup Nights. Thank you very much.
Have you ever failed in a project, career, or business? Whether you have or not, you can become a Fuckup Nights organizer in your city, company, or university. Learn how at fuckupnights.com. Join the movement. Fuck up the system.